Yeah, yeah. Coming up on Mental Health Marty, being Black and bound by the biases of autism. Stay tuned. Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Martina Sellers, your host, your boy, your mental health hygienist. Martina Sellers coming to you live and always in living color in Southern California, where the sun is always shining. And we are so glad that you joined us tonight. Listen, I'm playing double duty tonight. I'm playing host and dad. So Tony's over here. We're getting ready to take off and go on our family vacation, going to the family reunion. Fam, I'll see you this time tomorrow. No, a little bit later, but I'll see you anyway. But so glad that you join us. Hope you are doing well. What's going on, people? How you feeling? How you living? Let us know that you're out there. Tonight is going to be a bomb show. So glad to have Joe Barksdale back with us. Listen, if you don't know him, now you're going to know him. This brother is so damn cool and amazing that I can't wait to bring him on here and we just get to chopping it up and talking and everything. So what's going on, man? How you feeling? Hope DC is treating you all right and you're adjusting. You left the D area, Detroit, and going to DC. Man, hope everyone is doing well out there and that you're surviving this summer heat that's happening. But it's been pretty chill and cool out here in Southern California. We love the cool nights that we get. See, that's why everybody needs to move to the West Coast. The best coast. But since you're joining us, let us tell you what this show is all about. Mental Health Marty. Mental Health Marty is designed to be a psychoeducational tool to support you along your mental health journey. We are not, let me say that again, we are not a substitute for you seeing your therapist. We are definitely not a substitute for you seeing your psychologist, your psychiatrist, your doctor, your pastor, your boys, or anything. We just a supplement. We are a supplement that is designed to help you along this mental health journey, because too many of us, especially Black men, are secretly suffering in silence in the shadow of shame. And that's what we want to help stop, the stigma and the stinking thinking of that. But if you are by chance happen to be experiencing any type of psychological trauma or medical trauma, please go to your nearest urgent care, because we want to make sure you're being taken care of. Now, how do you engage with us on tonight? I'm so glad you asked. How do I engage? This is how you engage. Tonight, we're streaming on 3 platforms. So to the Black Men Made Well, welcome. To Marcel Consulting, welcome. And as always, the main host of the night, Mental Health Marty. And on the Mental Health Marty YouTube channel, that's where we see all of your comments. So we love when the audience is engaging, has questions, comments, just giving us a dope high five, letting us know you're out there, you're applauding us because you love what we're saying. Give us that feedback. But we only can see that feedback if you're logged on to the Mental Health Marty YouTube channel. We want you to subscribe to it as well so that you get the notification every time we go live, because we have a show for you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, Daryl, how do we do that so that they know that they have subscribed to that? They get subscribe and always hit like, subscribe, and guess what? You hear that bell, that lets you know you'll always be notified about our upcoming shows. I'm so excited because July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Minority, and I love, again, we are considered the BIPOC, by Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Tanya, thank you so much for always supporting. I appreciate you so much. But we're talking about BIPOC communities. We're talking about Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities. And during this month of July, although it should be every day and every month of the year, yes, that we should be talking about what mental health looks like. Because let me share this with you. Mental health does not care about your cultural background. It does not care about your sex, your sexism, whether your sexual orientation. It does not care about your cultural upbringing. It does not care about your class, your culture, or anything else. Listen, it is one of the most fair, equal opportunists that is around, that it will attack any and every one of us. And at some point in time, we all go through mental health crises, but that does not mean that you have to have a mental health diagnosis. And which, because you're going through a crisis, does not mean you're going cuckoo or crazy or anything else that we like to say in our communities. And we have to learn to also make sure that we are addressing mental health with concern, with compassion, and with empathy. Why? Because we never know if one day that might be us, it might be a family, a loved one, a friend, a co-worker, or anyone. Because again, it is an equal opportunist when it comes to mental health and mental health experiences, challenges, and issues that we go through. Tonight, I'm so excited to talk about, when we're talking about the autism spectrum, you know, that term has changed and is constantly being redefined about it. But one of the things we don't talk a lot about are our African-American culture and autism, especially when it comes to Black men. And when I was looking at it, because too many of us are Black and bound by the biases of what being on the spectrum, or the thought of the spectrum, or Asperger's as it used to be called in the DSM-4, pardon me, or those type of things. And when I was doing some of my research, I just want to look at some of this data that was this. When we're talking about autism is overlooked in our BIPOC children, or in our Black and children of color. And because as a result, this diagnosis is often later caught among children of color, especially African American children. Therefore, oftentimes when it is finally diagnosed, or we have the proper diagnosis, because let me say this, oftentimes our young boys are wrongly diagnosed, put on the wrong medication, therefore having the wrong actions with that, because oftentimes when young boys are depressed, they know anger, they know irritation, they're not being conduct disorder, they're not being overly aggressive, but they are responding in a lot of times the only way they know how to those triggers that are stimulating them to have outbursts of anger and that type of thing. And oftentimes, if we don't have a history with these young men, if we don't know what they're going through, if we don't have the biopsychosocial information so we understand what's going on at home, what's going on at school, what's going on in sports or other community and social events, we don't have the proper diagnosis to really even articulate what these young men and young girls are going through. So we want to jump to conclusions. I don't believe Insurances make us come up with a diagnosis after one visit. I don't believe it. You need 4, 5, 6, and sometimes 10 visits before you can do an accurate diagnosis, because we need to see the full spectrum and the full gamut of what this is acting in. And because our Black children, particularly our Black boys, are often diagnosed late with autism, then we have this challenge of that we have to have more stringent and more intensive treatment plans and interventions for them. The other thing is the CDC has little to no information on race and ethnicity when it comes to autism. And we know that's to be the truth. So even with all this that's going on in 2022, there still has not been enough dedicated research when it comes to autism, what it looks like in our communities of color. And we have to also deal with the stigmas and the negative stigmas that come along with it. Yes, you can be a functioning adult, a fully functioning person, and still be on what we now call the spectrum. It does not mean that there's anything wrong with you physically. It just means that you process things differently. I know lots of people who process things differently. In fact, I know some people who are diagnosed with autism who are geniuses, who are musical geniuses, who are artistic, who are extremely athletic, and all these things. It does not limit you. And I say this all the time. Do not let the diagnosis determine your worth, your outcomes, or your values. You don't let the diagnosis determine you. You determine the diagnosis. Come on, I wish I was in church and I tell someone, say, give me an amen. And as for 1 in 54 children are diagnosed with autism. I was looking at some more of the results that we look at this also when we're talking about current births. We're talking about 1 in 500 births are there some form of autism that has been developed or it could be diagnosed in that. The last thing I want to talk about is some additional challenges with autism that we may not be aware of. We got to look at language. Language is so important and imperative when we're talking about those of us with autism. Now, listen, I'm just a loud person, period. But we have to look at sometimes language, especially we're talking about Black folk dealing with police. And this always stimulates us anyway. And so looking at, I know I get stimulated whenever I could be doing everything right. Police car comes behind me. I immediately, I'm going 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Okay, do I have everything paid? Am I doing the speed limit? Now imagine that, and you have a mental health diagnosis on that and how that can send you over the edge. We have a difference in processing skills, and also response and reactions to triggers are different. And then also, can I say this? The skepticism that happens so often in the Black community. So I know I said a lot, but I wanted to begin to paint the picture and begin to talk about this so we can have an open dialogue. But coming back to us, for his second time, he said he had to come back because he wanted to make sure that his audio was on point. But this brother, I'm considering him a brother man from another mother. He's so cool, down to earth. He is former NFL player. He is a mental health advocate. He is a comedian. He is a musician. He's a father. He's a husband. He does so many things. This brother, listen, I think he can do everything and anything he puts his mind to. So I'm glad to have back with us none other than Joe Barksdale.
Thank you for having me.
Man,
thank you for having me. I've been good, man. How about yourself?
Listen, we trying to take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Listen, I was trying to get out there to Texas to come on to hang out with you, man, and everything. But, you know, circumstances gotten in the way and life got busy. But I got to drop back out there and go hang out with you again, man. I had a great time when we went to dinner and everything. So how's everything going for you?
It's going good, man. It's going really good. I actually am getting ready for my second comedy festival of the year. Tomorrow night is my show. So I was actually writing out the set list for that. Yeah. I don't know why I held up my notebook like you thought I was lying. But yeah, I'm excited.
But you know how we do. You know, right. This nigga lying. He lying. Yeah, he ain't talking about nothing yet.
You know what kind of house I grew up in.
Listen, we about
Mom,
to say one.
So you better go depress them dishes. How about that?
Right.
You know.
Right. You can't even tell it. No, mine said, I said something like, but they get on my nerves. I said, you ain't old enough for someone to get on some of your nerves. Boy, you ain't got no nerves. Go sit down somewhere. And you're like,
until you pay a bill.
Right. Until you pay a bill. that was the line.
That's the line. You grown
That's
now? We'll come pay this light bill.
Listen, it's the truth. I looked at my daughter. I'm like, you need to come with a check.
Hey, daughter, especially, I understand that with the daughters. They're very inquisitive.
Very much so. Wait a minute. My daughter now, Joe, I have a 32-year-old. She's going to kill me for telling her age. And now we're talking about getting married. And so she has this budget, man. I'm like, I am not Rockefeller or anyone else. Listen, I called her. I just said, listen, I just reserved the Sizzler. They got that we could have the salad bar and everything for the reception. She hung up the phone.
The Sizzler.
I got you. The Sizzler. The Sizzler.
Yes. My daughter never called me back.
Maybe that was a good thing.
Hey, you know what though? I mean, you do what you got to do. We don't make excuses for what we have.
She had a choice of the Sizzler or the Golden Corral. We can do either one.
Definitely got to take the Golden Corral. There's
Golden Corral. Yeah. Joe, for those who may not know who you are, share with us who you are, all the amazing things, man, that you do. And I just want a piece of your energy so I can stay up and do the things that you do, man. But share with us what you've been doing here lately.
Oh, you don't want this energy. But my name is Joe Barksdale. I am a musical artist. I produce, singer, songwrite, and play instrument. Well, I guess you got to play instruments to produce. I am
not
also
necessarily.
You got to play something, right?
The tambourine
or the drum machine. Yeah, but I would consider those instruments.
Okay.
I also play the guitar, the bass, the keys, and I sing. Anyway,
wait a minute. That's a new one. I didn't know about the singing part.
Oh yeah, I got an album coming out next month.
Dude, okay. You've been busy.
Yeah, you got to stay busy. Well, you don't have to stay busy, but I like working.
Yeah,
I can't sit at home. But yeah, I'm also a comedian. If you haven't heard my comedy, which is probably a lot of y'all, you will. I am also a husband, a father. Huh?
So are you on the Chitlin circuit yet?
Not yet. And based on what I know about the Chitlin circuit, I don't know if I'm trying to hit that in 2022. A lot of American flags on these roads now.
Right.
It's a lot of freedom. For real. What you mean we running out of gas? We're going to have to hoof it. We're not stopping here. All right, I'm sorry. For those of y'all that don't know, those were jokes about sundown town. Right. But yeah, I'm a comedian. I am going to my second comedy festival of the year next year. And like I said, I'm a dad and a husband. And I am also an advocate for mental health just in general. Trying to get, not erase, but, do what I can to remove that stigma. I am mentally ill. I see a therapist twice a week. I see a psychiatrist once a month. I take medicine. I take a lot of medicine, actually. I added up the milligrams the other day, and I'm like, yo, should I be should I be doing things alone? This is like 650 milligrams. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Hey, it's keeping you honest. It's keeping you going,
Is
man.
it though? All right, you're right. Shout out to Lamictal. Anyway,
hey.
I also am I am a high functioning autistic person. The DSM-5 changed it from Asperger's to high functioning autism. And one thing I would like to say real quick,
messed us all up. Go ahead.
One thing I would like to say real quick. We ain't all on the spectrum, all right? When someone tells you they're autistic, don't be like, oh, I think we're all somewhere on the spectrum. If we were all somewhere on the spectrum, there wouldn't be a fucking spectrum to be on. I'm sorry. But that really pisses me off. Like, because it's not marginalization. I mean, but it would be like, if you're complaining about your grandparents going through the civil rights movement and somebody's like, well, my grandparents went through the Great Depression. It's not the same. Is what I'm saying. It's not the same.
Right. You're right. You're right. But you know what, Joe? A lot of us don't understand it, and you know, with especially in our community, when there's a lack of understanding, there can often be a fear of that.
Yeah.
And I love that you definitely take away the fear and all that. My executive producer in the ear, you know, my ear. Daryl talking about, you should sing something. You should tell Joe to sing. Tell Joe to break out a song.
Twinkle,
Is the pipes warmed up?
twinkle, little star, how I wonder. I can play something. I have to get my acoustic guitar. I can play some on my acoustic guitar.
Yeah, but before we off the show, we're gonna have you play a little something for us. Definitely.
Right, y'all hear what they doing? They got me singing and dancing, talk about the Chitlin circuit. Hey, call me Chicken Joe. I'm sorry. Look at my tap dance.
I have the Sandman next to. Yes, you know.
You ain't lying.
Listen, at least you stayed in key and in tune. You know, some folk be all over you like, you know, you changed keys lying. 5 times in that. Yeah,
there was a woman at a comedy show, and I never understand this, but she started talking trash about singers. Like, you know, a lot of singers need to warm up before they sing. I'm just doing what she did now. A lot of singers need to warm up before they sing, you know, but not me. For example, I was born by the river. I'm like, is she serious? Like, she was dead serious. When she was done singing, she looked up like, no applause? No fucking applause.
No. Like, no, don't you talk about singers. You do something else. You do something else.
Trash about singers. Jay Walker gets it. Yeah, they got me shucking and jiving. I'm about to jump over a broom during the break.
Listen, we do what we got to. Right. And look, we don't even give the brother a check. He do this because he loves us. Man, at least get right. So what's going Danny? What's going on, Danny? Danny's an amazing therapist down in Dallas area, man.
That was him. He's got a wonderful
DLR. Yes,
that was just him.
Yes.
Yeah, Danny looked like he about to hit me up after this. Hey, brother, who are you meeting with? I can do some background
make sure that
check.
they license.
Yeah, he gonna make. Hey, brother, you say you on 650 milligrams? You talking like this? Nah, brother. What they giving you? You taking Mentos? All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So listen, it's patient confidentiality. It's confidentiality. Yes. So yes, hey there, bro.
You about to get on back up? What's your email, brother? I just want to send you some things.
Right. All the therapists concerned, like, all of them chiming in. Joe, what you doing?
Hey, Marty, Hey, Marty, you need to check in on this brother. That's what they say. Like, I'm concerned. Like, I know. All right.
But okay, you mentioned something, and we were joking about. How important is it? You know, I one of the things that I love. One of my brothers, back in he talks about checking in with we as black men, because a lot of times people look at you, Joe. You are 6 what? Almost 7 foot tall there. 6'5".
Almost 7 foot tall. I'd be the former NBA player. I ain't lying to y'all. 7
right.
feet
Okay.
tall.
6'5".
You know, it probably looks 7 feet tall to a cop, but you're right. 6'5".
Exactly. If you got pulled over, he was 7 foot tall.
He was 7 feet tall. I had to shoot him. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that not all cops shoot people.
No, they don't. Not all.
Just the bad ones.
You know,
please continue. Just the bad ones.
How important really is it for us as black men, as a people, to check in with each other? Say, hey, bro, you good? What's happening in life? I
always feel weird when I answer this question, because I'm always like,
why?
Because I'm always like, it's so important to check in. You need to make sure to reach out to people. And then I'll go through depressive episodes and, you know, think about killing myself. And I'll just spend like weeks talking to nobody. I just feel bad that I don't always take my own advice. But that is important. It is important.
It is.
If for nothing else, to not feel alone. I will say this: there will be a barrier in terms of like there need to be patience on both sides, because you know not everybody knows what everybody's going through. And I've been lucky enough to have friends that were patient with me. But it's definitely like it's not just one of those conversations where you just sit down next to your homeboy like, I think I'm gonna kill my boss, and then you get up and go cut the game on or something. Like, these conversations take time, which is why you need to find someone you trust to open up to. But if nothing else, at least open up to a journal. You know, talk on your notes app. You got to get it out.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's so important that we definitely do look at that, Joe. And I love what you're saying, because when you're in your depression or in those very downward mode, it's hard. You're not thinking, I need to call
You
someone
damn
and
near
let them know.
psychotic. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
damn near
really
psychotic.
are.
You probably are psychotic sometimes. I don't know why I'm talking to
At-
myself like in the third person, but yeah.
but trust me,
When we get
most
up,
of us do.
DLR about to hit me back up. Hey, brother, what's your cell phone number?
We don't give our cell phones.
What's your address? I'm in Dallas. I'll drive tonight. Okay, I'm sorry.
Look, DM me on IG. DM me on
For
IG.
real?
Yeah, that's it.
Now,
But I love what you're saying, man. But real talk, when you're talking about when you are depressed, again, one of the things we definitely do is I always say we got to look at patterns of people, especially if you, my boy, and I'm like, say, hey, Joe, something feels off about you, or I'm noticing something different about you today. You good? What's going on? And that opens the door. But you said something else important.
that's where I feel like a hypocrite, because there have been a bunch of times. Oh, you good? What's going on? I'm big straight, but on the inside, it's like I'm about to jump off the next bridge I crossed. Like, but you don't. I don't know.
Why is
once
it
again,
that?
I gotta take my advice. I
Yeah,
don't trust people with my
but
feelings.
why is it we as black men really have a issue talking about that, or even saying,
I think some of it
man,
is what we were joking about earlier. And I was actually talking to my
yeah,
therapist about this. You got our parents who were like, suck it up. This ain't as bad as my childhood. My feelings
yep,
hurt. You don't
yep,
pay enough bills around this motherfucker to have feeling. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
I'm sorry. Can I say that? Okay, cool. Um,
We authentic here. It's all good. We authentic and real.
I think they had parents who went through the civil rights movement that'll like suck it up. It ain't as bad as I went through. And then they had parents who went through Jim Crow and they like suck it up because at least people ain't tar and feathering you outside and hanging you with white sheets and
Right,
horses and cutting you up afterward.
right.
And their parents were slaves. What nobody giving a damn about a slave's mental health? So I do think
No.
that some of this is slavery related. I know I just took a long route there.
No, but you're absolutely right. I was sharing that with someone just the other night. We are only about 3 generations removed from slavery. In some cases, 3, if not 4, and so that is nurtured in us. You're right. So I said it because my great grandfather said it to my grandfather, who said it to my father, who said it to me. And especially, yeah, it does. But I think you're your truth with that. Jeff was just talking about that we have trust issues. I agree with Jeff that a lot of times, we cool on the surface level, but when talking about now, I don't know if I can trust you without feeling judged, or you might think I'm a punk, or that type of thing. If I'm saying, dog, I'm stressed today.
I think some of it too is like humans being humans.
Okay.
He was talking about trust issues. Trust issues don't come out of nowhere. You come out the womb trusting everybody, which means that, like, in order to develop trust issues, you got to have your trust broken by a lot of people, a lot of different times that you felt like you could depend on. And that's hard. I would argue it's harder for that person to trust somebody with their emotions than someone who's just, this is my first time sharing. You know what I'm saying?
But no, I agree with you. A lot of times I will take trust all the way back to childhood, because if we're looking at the Erik Erikson developmental chart, and I'm going to psychology on that, but
it's all right. They know what they logged in for.
Right, you're right. But because trust is one of those issues that we build in the toddler stage and preschool stage, and if that trust issue is not developed, then it carries on in life, and then it's perpetuated as we get older. And so you're absolutely right.
I never trusted my parents.
And if you don't trust our parents,
that affects all my relationships. Yeah, because like your relationship with your parents is supposed to be your first healthy relationship.
That's right.
But
that's right. So
when that relationship's more toxic than the Ninja Turtles, it's toxic. For those of y'all that don't know, it's toxic ooze that made the Ninja. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah.
Toxic relationships. I think, especially when you don't make those bonds as a, what is the word, adolescent, like a toddler.
Yes. Yes.
You never feel safe, and if you never feel safe, then you're used to deflect. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm so funny. Because I've always used comedy as a shield for my emotions. Nobody's calling the police thinking you about to kill yourself if they laughing.
You're right. And a lot of us do use comedy as a coping skill, as a skill to redirect, so people don't really know how we're really feeling. I always feel like the heart of most comedy is the truth.
For sure. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would have agreed with that like a year ago, but like some of the stuff I be hearing at these open mics, what? But yeah, no, you're right. Like the good jokes, the ones you remember, you're right.
That part. Yeah. Now some of the other ones you're like, okay, you're trying too hard and you need to go back to school and just but life alone is funny all by
change your entire career. Hey, you look like you're good at math. You want to be a professor? Like because
come on, man. You know something like yeah, you need to go back to school and try something different. Go back to comedy school or something.
And then they'll get off stage like, oh, weird crowd tonight. It's always a weird crowd. Like,
no, it's you.
90 people in there. Weird crowd. Nah, bro, you ain't funny. Like,
exactly.
And I'd like to take this moment to say, just because you damaged don't mean you're funny. Don't get on stage trying to talk about, oh, my dad molested me when my mom was watching and took pictures.
You're like,
no one's gonna laugh at that. That's not funny. Yeah.
No, that's like,
you know what we doing? We calling your therapist
make the whole room
Dallas.
Yeah, no, we calling it. We got a CPS report. Can we?
We got a retroactive CPS.
Like, are there children in the house? What's going on? Where you live? But a lot of people use that, and now you've made the whole room uncomfortable. And a lot of us don't know how to deal with those emotions, so we use inappropriate ways to express hurt and all that. Can I shift for a quick moment? A lot of times you definitely, I love what you said, that everyone is not on the spectrum. So stop saying that. But what has life been like for you? Because I talked about earlier in my kind of monologue pre-log in the beginning that especially when it comes to Black men, Black young boys, they are often underdiagnosed for autism. Now we're overdiagnosed in when it comes to oppositional defiance and conduct disorder, but we're underdiagnosed when it comes to being on the spectrum or having spectrum-like challenges. And for you, when did that all come full circle for you? And talking about living with it.
I would say it came full circle probably 3 years ago when I was diagnosed. Up until then, I mean, I would hear jokes here and there about like, you know, being some kind of savant or being terrible in social situations, not being able to communicate with people, not fitting in with anybody.
Right.
So I would say that's when it came full circle, and it answered a lot of like the questions, just in the not questions, but you know, it gave me a lot of new information to work with.
Right.
You know. And I guess it answered a lot of questions I had about myself too, but but all in all, it made me probably too comfortable for who I am at this point. But like, I can't be. I
love it, man. Yeah. I guess because I've known you about a little over a year now, and what I'm even seeing is even you embracing it a whole lot more as you're really some of those pieces are falling into place for you even that much more.
Well, because I can answer questions now. That's, you know, a lot of people, they want to come out and be an activist. Like, mental health matters. Well, what are the stats? Stats? Like, you know, I don't know nothing about this. So I never wanted to be that person that's like outspoken about something, and then someone wants information. And not understand. Like, I'm trying to be part of the solution.
But you definitely are a part of the solution, and even how you wear it proudly, and not allowing that so-called diagnosis or the diagnosis of it to define you, but even how, like so it's like, okay, so you just that's good that it didn't, and a lot of times we allow that to change who you are, because authentically you still had all this amazing energy. Authentically, you've still been always creative. Authentically, you probably had more energy than all of your teachers and mentors, coaches, and all that. They're like, what are we gonna do with him? Keep giving more. And that's a superpower. Call us mama, right?
Yeah, I will agree with that. But it's not a superpower for everybody. Like, I think people
Okay,
think
that's
that
true.
like somebody's on the autism spectrum. It's like, cool, let's go to Vegas and count these cards, but they forget it's a spectrum, not a line. You know, so
That's good.
but you know what I
That's good
mean?
though.
Like, oh, you
Yeah.
autistic? Play this guitar, like, you know.
Right. But
So I
isn't
would
that the
want to say that
horrible
too.
assumptions? Yeah, but isn't that the horrible assumptions that we have because of we are ignorant as a people and
Yeah,
understanding that that you're right, it's a spectrum and not a line. And we
yeah.
think lineal and we don't think the whole spectrum of it, the diversity, just like we as a people aren't monolithic. And oftentimes we think that the spectrum is very monolithic, and that's not the truth.
And we need to,
Yes.
once people acknowledge this, that, oh, you know, I may have been wrong in that thought process. It's a little easier to have grace with other people who may be wrong in different types of
Yeah.
thought processes, you know.
Yes, that's cool. That really is.
That's a
Listen,
random
how's the wife?
philosophical statement.
But that was good. Listen, look, put that in your book. How's the family doing, man? You are a family man. You're a husband, and although I haven't met your wife, I think she's phenomenal, and I know you talk highly about her. What has married life and family life been for you? And I
It's
love
been
it before.
fantastic. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, it's been fantastic, and that's not me saying that, like, you know, perfect days. There's no such thing as a perfect day.
Right.
You know, there's challenges and things like that, but I can say that, like, these people in the house, I trust more than anybody outside of the house. No offense to y'all out of the houses, it just is what it is, you know.
It's the truth.
Yeah, and like I would do anything for anybody in this house, including the dog, which I never thought I would say. But my wife, her in terms of, you know, just being married and, you know, having that relationship, it's weird because we've known each other for like 20 something years, but we still learn new stuff about each other.
Is this a high school sweetheart?
No, I met her actually in middle school.
Well,
Middle school.
Okay.
But no, not a sweetheart.
Wow.
We just became really good friends in high school. And then we started dating near the end of college. That was long distance the first time. It didn't work out. We tried again. That was also a long distance. It didn't work out. We tried a third time, and my wife was like, listen, I'm getting too old to just be breaking up and getting back. This ain't no Usher song. I'm like, you right, babe.
This it. Listen.
Yeah, this is
Either
it.
we gonna do this or we ain't. This is it.
I get it. You know, shout out to my strong queens that know what they want, period. But
yeah.
But it's been fantastic being able to support her with her real estate business, which is going great, by the way. Bree Barksdale from Realty Austin. Shameless plug, I know. But
that's all right. We like shameless plugs. I do it every time. I said, let me give you a little shameless plug. mentalhealthparty.com. And I said,
there you go.
Back to your regular scheduled program. Yeah.
And she also has an event planning business, which is doing fantastic as well. So it's been it's been great for me just to be able to show, because it's one thing to say like, oh, I support you. It's another thing to be retired and at home with some time. Like, do you really support, you know? But it's definitely helped us grow.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the kids, still can't say no to them. I got two daughters, Kennedy and Kendall. Kennedy is 5, Kendall's 3. They both getting so old. They used to not be able to walk. But anyway. Yes.
I see they got daddy wrapped around their finger.
No, it's ridiculous. Like it's to the point like my wife would be like, go put the kids to bed. I'm like, for what? You know I'm about to come back down here with 2 kids in my hand. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't say nothing to these kids. It'll be like midnight. I'll come upstairs. Hey, y'all, what's going on? You know, oh, Daddy, we want to play. Well, just keep it down, man. Your mother's downstairs.
Wow. See, you gonna spoil them. They're gonna be a mess because of Daddy. Daddy's girls.
You're right. You know what though? That's gonna be somebody else's problem. No, I'm just playing. I am glad.
Well, you saw my 6-year-old tonight. Yeah,
but I'm sure, just like you, like I'm glad that there's they talk about like, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, because you're right. If it was just me, they would be spoiled rotten, you know.
Right.
But luckily, you know, my wife is like, that cry's not real. They're fine. They can go back upstairs, you know, like it helps.
Mamas know. They're like,
now we still wake up with a kid in the bed every morning, but you know, they don't start there.
Look, with a foot here and an elbow here. You're like, really?
Oh no! See, that's the other thing about being wrapped around your daughter's fingers. They want you to be comfortable at all times. That's them and their mama. They know. Dad gets his space. So,
well, I don't
I
know.
scratch their back, they scratch mine.
No, my 6-year-old. I'd be like, I had to put her in her bed. She's like, can I start? I'm like, will you move over, please?
Sounds like y'all need to come to an understanding. No, I'm just listen. If you want to wake up in this bed.
She goes right to her. Said, Daddy, how come when I woke up this morning I was in my bed? Because you sleep bad.
That's real.
So
it's better than some parents. Daddy, how come I woke up in my other? Because the boogeyman came in and grabbed you just to let you know if you keep lying to me about your report card. Whoa! Like, why am I here? Someone came in and tried to kidnap you, but we stopped them. Watch yourself. But parents are always trying to scare their kids.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works, right?
Well, no, not whatever works, because some of y'all are doing too much.
It depends. Parenting ain't for punks. It's not for cowards at all.
You're not lying. And I'm so tired of people like doing the bare minimum in parenting and then like boasting about it.
Tell me.
Saw my son for 20 minutes in the last 72 hours. #dad life. No, bro. Like driving your son to school and not seeing him again for 3 days. Or the people that's like, they'll go home and treat their kids like crap. Like, at least I'm here. That's not.
Yeah, but that is definitely a challenge that a lot of I don't want to say fathers have. But listen, since we're talking about data. Yeah, since we're talking about statistics, what I recently discovered in some statistics I was doing is that finally we have data that supports Black fathers, especially those who are out of the home, are more likely to see and meet with their kids than any other culture and race. And we finally have data, because remember, we always feared this being this deadbeat dad, but we finally have data that speaks to the opposite of that, especially during the pandemic. And that is such something to celebrate. So listen, for Black fathers out there. Yes, shout out to we dads out there and everything.
Take it a little easier on your son and then pick up basketball games now.
Yeah, that was my dad on me. Get in there. I'm like, okay. Pay attention. You missed that. I was like, dude.
I was just about to say, you missed that shot. You walking home.
Yeah. Like, come out. My father actually told me, come out the game. You're embarrassing me. I'm like,
if I'm being 100% honest, like the last sport that my dad saw me play before football was baseball, and I was so bad. Like I would get up to bat, and my dad would be like,
"Oh,
just start hiding." Like I don't know whose son that. Hey, it's all right. We'll get him next time. There ain't gonna be no next time. This boy is terrible. Like I was very bad. My dad was very embarrassed. It was to the point he stopped trying to coach me. It was just like, because some dads it's like, let's go outside. I'm gonna throw you the ball. We're gonna,
right.
My dad's like, hey, maybe baseball's not for you.
Okay, that's good. But football apparently was. Look,
yeah,
you made it through.
That's true. And it's funny you were talking about undiagnosed autism. I feel like if I had been diagnosed autistic early in my life, I would not have been playing football. Because the event that led to me playing football. So I was at this engineering camp when I was in high school. This kid asked this question. It was a dumb question. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, people who ask questions this dumb should get slapped. And before I could process the thought, I was already hitting this kid on the back of the neck. He stands up, starts flipping tables over and screaming. We both got kicked out. And because of that, I needed something to do over the summer to stay, to get out the house. So I decided to play football to try to get in shape.
Wow. Okay. And then that just became it. The rest is history from there.
Yep. Just tripped and fell into the league, man. It's crazy. I mean, it really is crazy though. Like,
but what happened was you stumbled upon your strength and what you were excellent at, and found some sort of passion in it, and allowing it to redirect it. So let me have you talk to us. You're the expert on that. You're sharing with your life. What did stumbling onto football like that do for you, your self-esteem, your whatever, all the other things that it did to redirect a lot of that negative
Oh, it did
attention
nothing
that you
for
were
my
getting?
self-esteem. Um, it did nothing for my self-esteem. If anything, I used football because I was undiagnosed with the mental illnesses at the time too, and being
Right,
clinically
right.
depressed, I was using football as like a distraction to like maybe for these couple hours I can think about something else besides slitting my wrist. So that's what it started as for me. And once I found out I could go to college for it, in my mind, I'm like, cool. I can get a free ride. Like
Mhm,
I never believed I could go to the NFL. You know, um,
mhm.
yeah, I don't know. Like I was just always trying to get better, if that makes sense. Like I think I was
No,
just so focused. Oh, go ahead.
no, no. It totally makes sense. You were doing like most black men and people doing whatever it took just to get by, even if it meant getting by for that moment.
Mhm.
And football became that for you. So listen, I'm gonna get by for these next 2 hours, and then I'll worry about the next 2 hours. And for
Mhm.
many of us that have undiagnosed mental health illnesses, that's what we're doing. We're just
Mhm.
trying to get by. We're trying to get by, especially once you get into your teens and 20s and all that. You're like, listen, I'm living in this moment. So that totally makes sense and
Like
why.
I never understood how people could wake up and be happy, or like go to
Mhm.
sleep and be excited to wake up the next day. Like I never understood that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so when you talk about like getting by, and it was these things are necessary.
Right. It is. And oftentimes I think we take too lightly for those people and who are just saying, listen, I made it this next hour. So let me celebrate that. I made it through this next class. So let me celebrate that. I made it through this next practice. And we're not given permission to celebrate the small things because I'm a firm believer in this whole thing of um, whether it's suicide awareness or even the ideation of it. A lot of us, especially men, we're just saying, I just want this pain to end. And oftentimes we're saying, we don't know how to end it. So it's like, let me just, I know, man, I had to get a root canal, and that mug woke me up at 3 a.m. So it was just like, I just need something to end this pain. When I ruptured my Achilles, I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Ooh.
And I love this, Dr. Brown, serendipity. The things we do to get by could later help us thrive. That is so excellent. That's so right. And so, man, when I had ruptured my Achilles, by the time I made it to the doctors, urgent care, I had already taken 8 Tylenol, and they said, "What are you trying to do? Kill yourself?" I said, "I wasn't even thinking about that. I just want
Mhm.
this pain to end."
Mhm.
And then we'll worry about fixing everything else up later. And
Mhm.
that's my philosophy when it comes to black. But a lot of times we're like, just let this pain that's bothering me. I can't sleep. I can't think. I can't walk. I can't talk or do anything. Let this pain in, and then let's talk about how we fix the problem later. And I don't even know if that's kind of your thought process sometimes when you're thinking about, when you then and when you're in that downward spiral, if that's what you thought through, is like, I just want this pain to end, and then let me think about how to fix some things later. So just a thought.
No,
Don't know.
I think for me, I was always I just didn't want to be alive. I mean,
Hmm.
you grow up feeling like a burden.
That
You
okay.
know, you can't find your purpose. In your mind, you don't even
Hmm.
have a purpose besides, breaking your parents financially. Um,
Mm. Wow, that's
so
deep.
for me, I just would rather have not existed at all.
Hmm. Hmm. So for you, what is and has been your turning point from even that thought process?
Oh,
I know,
there's no turning. I still think
huh?
like that all the time. I said there's no turning point. Like I still think like that all the time. I mean,
Hmm.
I still hate myself. I still don't want to be alive. All these other things. I just
Hmm.
in my mind, like I can't tell other people one, I can't try to decrease the stigma on mental illness and then kill myself and push it back up, you know.
Right.
And two,
right.
I can't tell people to go get help if I'm not, I can't tell people to go get help and not quit and that kind of stuff. And then I go and do what I told someone else not to do. But that doesn't mean that, like, because I hear it in a lot of interviews and stuff. I don't know if people assume because I'm funny or what, but, depression is something that you've struggled with in the past, right? These ideations and things. I'm like, no, I'm thinking about killing myself right now, Like, it's not, and it'll never be in the past for me. That's one of the reasons I'm on 650 milligrams of medication, seeing a therapist twice a week. But I do what I got to do to be the voice that I wish I had.
That part, that's what I love, man. That's what always I love hearing your story, because you use that to help ground you, to help keep you focused. And I love your transparency about it. You're like, listen, this is where I am. This is who I am. Like it, love it, leave it, whatever.
There's no point in lying about it. Yeah.
But
too many people lie about it.
That part, yeah, because you're right. Too many of us do lie about it. Too many of us say, I'm good, and when we're not good. But I love your authenticity, your opening up and saying, listen, there are days I'm not good. Yes, I still struggle with it. Yes, I think about it.
Oh, no, this is a daily thing.
Right. And even sharing that this is a daily thing. And I see my therapist twice a week, and I see my psychiatrist, and I take medication, and I do comedy, and I have, man, I'm trying to work out for 2 minutes a day, and you up here 2 hours.
You got to be mentally unstable. It'll get you there. No. When you lose touch with reality, 2 hours just. No, I'm just playing.
Listen, I need to be doing 4 hours here, because there's something like.
To be honest with you, I've found it as mandatory. Like, I used to think that I was just doing it to try to get in shape. But, like, it is mandatory for me to beat myself into the ground every day to have a chance at going to sleep.
Yes, yes. But that's good. I love it, because you're talking about ways that you balance out your life. And this is a part of your regiment, working out, doing comedy, tucking your daughters in, keeping them up midnight, and they come downstairs. Look who's still up.
Oh, no. I didn't say keeping them up, but, an object of motion is gonna stay in motion. Y'all like, hey, do y'all thing, man. I'm keep it down, all right? I need some popcorn.
Right. I got some jujubes right here with the popcorn, so stimulate.
Do y'all drink? No, I'm just playing.
Milk. You got an extra cold milk tonight.
Yeah, like y'all want a strong chocolate. I put some
chocolate in it. Yeah.
I spiked your milk with chocolate.
With chocolate, yeah. One got chocolate, you got strawberry. Which one you want? Yeah. That's good.
You get what you get, you don't throw a fit.
I love that. I love it. Man, before our time is getting close to end, man, but I want to know, so before we go, you got that what is that? Oh, that's that. You got that guitar ready?
No, I don't have a guitar ready. We've been talking this entire time. Like, when did you think that I had time to go grab? We've been locking eyes on the internet for the last hour. And you talk about, is the guitar ready? Nigga, I know I can do a lot. I'm not a magician. Like,
no, I thought it was part of the act too.
Part of the act. I can go get it, but it was not ready. Like, I'm not one of those people that just has an acoustic sitting in the corner waiting on someone that, do you play guitar? Yes.
Right. Yes. Like, I just happen to have it right here. So let me just, I was just singing along. I would love for it, you too.
All right. I'll be right back.
All right. Y'all, I hope you have been enjoying our time with Joe Barksdale. Listen, I appreciate his candor. I appreciate this brother for just sharing what as it is for him in his real everyday life. This is so powerful, and please like and share this with other people, because what you're getting here is real truth, 100%, that we cannot be afraid of or look differently at. And do we just talk through and really share? He got that guitar. Come on, Joe. Yes, sir. We do what we do. Tune it up. Da.
All right,
Yes,
sing it
sir.
if you know it. No, but this is actually going to be a song. The song is actually going to be on my
on your
album.
project?
Yeah, and it's actually already
I
out.
love it.
It's called Alone.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear that?
Yes, sir.
I'll play a song for you if you want me to. If you don't, I'll play it all the same. I don't let folks box me in cages, so my photo goes beyond the frame. I'd love to take you with me back to the planet that I call home. But I know you just get homesick and leave me all alone. Where did you go? I guess I'll never know. What am I to do now that I'm all alone? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Whoa. Wish I could right or wrong for you. Sincerely, I know what it's like to go through pain. I wrote this poem for you on a rainy day as my hair rested on the window pane. It's hard to get my thoughts out sometimes. It's like it's driving me insane. The sun don't shine as brightly these days, or maybe I'm just further away. Where did you go? I guess I'll never know. What am I to do now that I'm all alone? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Whoa. I wanted all along to tell you truly, I just hate being alone. It doesn't help, surely, that I am so far from home. Counting down the days that I have left on this planet to roam. Don't make that face, you know you would be too if you were homesick and alone.
Love it, man. Love it, man. Yes. Joe Barksdale Unplugged. Yes.
That's right.
Man.
One day someone will be paying for that. No. I'll pay $50 to be here. He better play along. I done bought 3 drinks.
Right. Man.
Where's that cognac I ordered? Sorry.
But man, you got an amazing voice. Yes, look. That's right. See? Amazing. Yes.
It's bad. After I was talking trash about that singer, I'm like, you better hit these notes, Jack. You're gonna be real alone.
Like, Joe.
Hey, big dog.
Remember that comedian you was talking about?
Exactly. Come on, let me just play something that you don't really need to warm up to sing. I ain't gonna be out here talking about I was born by a river.
No, that's too high. That's crazy. Yeah, she ain't got the range. Joe, man, man, I can't thank you enough for always coming on and just sharing and being so open and honest with what you do, man. And I got to get to Austin soon and be like, Joe, what up? I'm out here, man. You're like, how'd you get out here?
No, I'm just somebody calling you. Nah, I'm good.
You're like, sorry. Man, no, real talk. I appreciate you, man. What do you want our listeners to leave with today as it pertains to one? I know I was going to ask you before we do that. Talk to Detroit. Are you doing your backpack giveaway this year? What's going on with that? You know.
So I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna butcher the dates, but I feel like it's in 2 weeks. I could be 100% wrong. It is sometime this summer. We're actually doing one here.
Okay.
We're also doing one in one here in Austin, and then we're doing the one in Detroit. So I'm very excited. This will be the first one in Austin this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very excited to get kids.
Now, are you still doing? I know you did the panels and everything. Like the one you did. Are you replicating that same portion that you did? Maybe you did the mental health panel and everything.
I believe so, but we are. I'm not gonna lie. So here's the deal, y'all. When it comes to like planning, I'm terrible at planning. All right, I get an itinerary the week before because I can't plan. I don't need nobody to say he's not giving away any backpacks. Like, no, you gonna have the event. Check my Instagram into it.
I'm gonna check your Instagram.
Okay.
I'm gonna check your Instagram, man, and I'm gonna post it on mine too because I appreciate and love what you're doing. It's all good. It's all. I guess I could have forewarned you beforehand. Like,
no, it's all good. Once again, I'm comfortable
at the end.
I'm comfortable who I am. Listen, I ain't got nothing to lie about. It's happening. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. That part. Because
I went to the Mike D camp when I was in high school, and it didn't happen. You ever showed up to a school on the field waiting on the camp to start that didn't start? Hey, I paid $50 to be here. Where's Mike Vick? Did he use this money to buy another dog? I'm sorry.
I can't.
But you know what I mean? Like, it is happening.
I know what you mean. Okay,
I'm not catfishing y'all with this event. Yeah. Because that's another thing. These are quality backpacks. Because some people be like, "Oh, I'm giving away backpack. It's 50 Jan Sports." Like, boy, if you don't get the hell out of it, sorry. But you know what
I know what you're saying. You give out quality work, man, and I appreciate that, and definitely giving back to the communities and being about it. Before they go, last thing you want to tell people about, and I love you said it's not a line, it's a spectrum. But what do you want the last thing kind of do you want people to leave about understanding spectrum, and how do we follow you and keep in touch with you?
Sometimes, I mean, when you talk about autism, at the end of the day, my brain is wired differently than the average brain. It's like being a PlayStation in a world full of Xboxes. Just because someone with autism interprets information differently or regurgitates it differently doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just different.
That's right. Yeah.
And autism isn't a disease. No one has autism. They are autistic.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you wouldn't say like he has artistry, you know. You know what I mean? Like, right. Say he's an artist, you know. He's an artistic person. But I think that's something that it's not just a community issue, it's a human issue, you know, putting
that's right.
You know, your thoughts and feelings to the side to try to look at something objectively from someone else's point of view. I feel like if we could do more of that, the world would be a better place. But I'm pretty sure I'm like one of the billions of people that said that today. So, but yeah, that's, you know, communication is very important. And
yeah,
you know, no matter how difficult it is, do not stop trying to communicate with somebody. And I'm once again from experience, you know, being an autistic person married to a non-autistic person, there's times I just want to give up and never talk again, but I keep going. You know,
that's good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, how do we follow you? How in your media, social media forums?
I know I forgot something. You can just at JBDale72 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. JBDALE72.
Love it. Keeping it simple. I love it
Yep.
across all platforms. Man, I appreciate it. Joe, again, thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Much love to you and the family, man, and much success on these two major events coming up to support our kids and our youth as they're going back to school. And I definitely want to be a part of it. Do I need to call Aaron and tell him to get me on the platform?
This is what I was about to tell you from the beginning. Like, bro, just give Aaron a call, please. Like, text that man. He has all the answers. I'm just trying to make it to tomorrow. No.
I understand. I'm going to text Aaron because I want to be a part of your giveaway definitely in next year and whatever.
We could definitely do a live episode there.
I would love it. I would love it, man, because I believe that you have an amazing platform. I love that you're using your platform to do so much good on so many levels that you're doing and what you're doing and how you're doing it, man. So much love. Appreciate you. We definitely when the project drops when?
Come on, man. I want hold on. I know it's on my I think it's on my calendar. Because that's at the end of August. I'm trying to get to July 13th. You talking about
okay.
That's a good I know Hocus Pocus 2 comes out September 30th. I don't know why I'm in September.
Oh, snap.
I'm really excited for
you said August.
Too. I'm trying
right before Halloween.
Trying to stretch. I don't know. It's
that's all
August.
good.
I do know that.
We'll follow you on your social media and we'll get it.
Yeah, sorry.
Definitely.
They're like, bro,
it's all good, babe.
Like Marty said, though, it's a lot. It's a lot of moving pieces. The comedy, the production, the music stuff. I'm being a dad, and now I'm just making excuses. All right, I'm sorry.
No, but I love it. But it really is your superpower, man. And you're just like, listen, I'm staying busy. I'm on my grind. I'm on my hustle, doing all that you do. So, man, again, thanks, man. I can't thank you enough for taking the time being on the show, man. Much love to you and the family, and hope to connect soon. All right.
Thanks for having me. Same to you.
Anytime. Y'all, listen, you heard it from Joe Barksdale. This is an amazing brother who helped to defy and tell us about that we don't have to continue to secretly suffer in silence in this shadow of shame. I want to share with you, for those of you who might, there is a wonderful organization called autisminblack.org, autisminblack.org, who specifically talks about Black folk and with who are on the spectrum and what autism looks like for we in our community. So again, we don't want you to not have the necessary help, but we want to leave you with a few resources before we leave out of here. If you're struggling through any type of crises, you can always text crises to 741-741. Contact psychologytoday.com, therapyforblackmen.com, Good Therapy, and also marcelconsulting.com if you're in need for getting a therapist. But in this journey called life, we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame, but we want you to always speak up, speak out, and live. And always remember to enjoy your life. We'll see you next week. Take care.